Hey guys, welcome back to the Project Bodybuilding Podcast, episode 12. Here with the number one guest, certainly the most frequent guest, Mark's Max Muscle.
Hey yo.
That's him. So this one is a bit interesting. I want to talk about the California Pro, the Cali Pro, the Cal Pro, and that's interesting to unpack because there was no live stream and certain things. So, we'll input what we can. And then I also want to talk about the news that just broke and maybe a couple of other things. But the news that just broke I'm referring to is Quinton Eriya leaving his coach, and we can talk a little bit about that. But as if we didn't hate on him enough in the last video. Um, but okay. So this weekend, I'll try to pull up what I can, but like I said, there's no live stream. There was no live stream, I guess I should say. Um, but this weekend, saw the Cali Pro. Um, so overall, Mark, what did you think? Like of the lineup, of the show in general? What are your thoughts leaving the show?
I mean, the placings were quite sporadic compared to New York. I mean, Amir's probably the biggest. I can see where Christian got ahead of Stu. I
Yeah.
think even some people even predicted that because they were. So that's fine.
hmm
But Amir placed ninth in New
Oh, so
York.
I didn't know he was in the top 10 at New York. I thought he was like 10th. But yeah,
Wow.
that's pretty far back there, but it was a stacked lineup. But yeah, him still Beef Stew was in New York. Christian
Beef
was in New
Stew
York.
didn't. Yeah, yeah.
And
Christian, Beef, Amir, Tim Budesheim. There was a
yeah,
few.
that's
Joseph.
right.
It was kind of the same lineup,
Where did
except for
Tim
no
end up
Quinton.
placing?
About the same as he did.
Eighth. Yeah, that was he moved back one
He
placing
moved back.
because
Did he get seventh? I think he got
yeah,
seventh.
yeah, because he beat Angel. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's quite interesting. Got beat by Joseph Keftin this time. Um, I guess we can just start. Oh, Brady King was in the show. I had no idea Brady did the show.
It's a big lineup.
It was
That,
quite a big one.
that's
Yeah, a
the
lot.
thing. When we don't get to watch the live stream, you don't get to see the second, third call outs.
I mean, yeah. So it's going to be hard to talk like this. This is the first time I'm seeing these pictures. A lot of, I'm sure, certainly the first time I've seen HD photos of the show. Maybe from what I'm seeing, maybe a little off. I don't know. There's some. I'm trying to get to the back. They took a lot of photos, but
Is this the guy that plays 10th, you say?
Brady King 14th. I just know him
Oh,
because
oh,
he's
he was way out of the pack then.
yeah, he's just quite a
He's got a
bigger
good
name.
back. He's got a good back, this guy.
Yeah, just not the upper and lower body balance, but still 14th. Not that I've seen the rest of the lineup, but that seems a little low for Brady. I gotta.
Yeah,
Is
good
it?
back on him.
It's just that upper and lower body balance, maybe because he is so wide up top and his legs are a bit narrow, but I think he's brought him up. That's certainly not that bad. Not as bad as I thought it would be. Um,
Yeah. The pictures that I seen of him, his wheels were pretty small.
okay. So he was 14th. He had I think what people were calling the two Koreans. Let's see who was the one. Sung Cho Lee. He's been around. He's I know he's competed more than just this. He must be competing under a different name or something like that because I know I've seen him at a show or two in the past. He got a good placing here. And just off the top of my head, let's see. He was sixth here.
Sixth, yeah.
That's usually that's pretty good for Sung Chol Lee. Are you
Yeah.
familiar with his repertoire?
Sung Choo Lee, he's been around, man. He competed at the Olympia in like 2020, I think it was.
Yeah, I think so too. And yeah.
Yeah, there was another guy. Yeah, does he call himself Yang Min Lee now? No, that was another guy.
Yeah, that's another guy. I know you're
Yeah,
talking about that.
he looked similar.
Let's see here.
There he is. There.
Are you allowed to say that?
Who? Me?
Yeah.
I'm allowed to say anything I want as long as my wife approves it.
The whole he looked similar thing.
Oh, no, no. I say that if somebody looks similar. I don't care. It could be a white guy and a Indian guy. If they look similar, those two guys look the same.
That's true. People that are the same ethnicity look similar
I
to
feel
other
if you're
people
I
in that
feel if you're not
ethnicity.
racist, you should be able to discuss racism.
I agree. I agree.
Racist people should just keep it to themselves, not discuss it.
Okay, so
2024.
yeah, yeah, in a nutshell. Okay, so yeah, like I'm blanking on this show because it's just like what is there to discuss? Like he had Dorian Haywood 10th. That's usually about where he places. Tim Buddha Simon 8th. I guess let's go back to like the top five, six, I guess this
Yeah,
was. So because like you said, it was a bit sporadic
six.
in the placings because Pablo initially was up in what was it, top four call
Top
out?
four. He was in the
Probably,
first call out, yeah,
yeah,
after the
probably
prejudging.
pushing for around third, fourth at the worst. But then he fell to fifth because Beef Stew at the finals came back better. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. I have no idea.
I don't
um,
I don't I don't think that Pablo had the conditioning from the back to compete with any of them.
yeah,
And I like Pablo. I'm not a Pablo
I do
hater. I've
too. I do
been
too.
rooting for this guy, rooting Tootin' Tuesday. He looks like Horse MD.
Is this a video of Pablo? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
From the
yeah.
front, from the side, he could have won. But from the back, no. No glutes, no hamstrings.
Doesn't have the development either of the back still. Not
Well, that's
yet.
just it. If he cuts into that condition, that'll eat away at his back.
Mm,
And he needs to, because his front looks pretty hard.
yeah,
From the back, it's just when you compare him to other guys, he might look good on his own, but I think
yeah.
Stu had him.
Do you think Stu? I don't know if you can answer this, but do you think he got better at finals, or do you think maybe because a lot
I
of
have no
people,
idea.
yeah, a lot of people
I've
were
looked at different
complaining.
footage. I was looking at different footage for each.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying, yeah, because this was the initial top four call out: Christian, Amir, Tonio, and Pablo. A lot of people were saying, like, I can just read some of the comments here. Beef stew didn't place. A lot of Amir love, but a lot of these no beef stew. A lot of these people, uh, were maybe rightly saying that maybe Stu was overlooked. Maybe he deserved to be in this call out. And
Let's see him back there.
yeah, and apparently he's talked about the Cali Pro having different judging standards in the past because he something similar happened last year where he placed behind Sergio in fourth. Yeah, behind.
No, he beat Sergio, didn't he?
We're about to find out.
Did he get fourth? Sergio's really been stinking it up for the last couple of years.
He got beat by Sergio. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't really know. Hmm.
Tonio lost to Ross.
Yeah, that was interesting because then he came back and Ross didn't even finish the Olympia, and
No,
Tony went on to
that's
place
the
eighth.
thing. Tonio, and I'm not hating on Tonio either, but he looked his best. He looked so much better at the Arnold Classic, I think, South
Mm.
America,
Oh yes, yes.
when he placed second. I think that was his best look out of the last three. New
The Olymp
York, his
New York.
midsection was better.
Yes,
His
for sure.
midsection was better. And I find he had just more overall polish when he walked out. He had more stage presence.
I would agree with that. And I think the year prior, actually, that year's New York Pro was his best version
Because
out
that
of
was his first
2023.
time. That was his first time competing. And he needs to get ready for a competition for a little while and then compete.
Yeah,
Same thing
and
with Stu
yeah, Beef Stew apparently plans on competing more. A lot
this year.
more, actually. Yeah, I'll pull it up.
If he gets used to nailing his condition, competing more often, I guess that's probably a good thing.
Let's see, round two of the year is done. For
Oh,
my
year is
part,
done.
I was significantly drier and fuller this weekend compared to last weekend. Internet talking heads have said otherwise, but pictures don't lie. So he thinks he was his best ever. I
At
certainly
the
can't
Cali?
comment on. Yes,
Well, I did the comparison there, and I don't disagree with him. His back looked much better.
that's the thing I noticed. I definitely noticed it looked
But
more.
I didn't want to do a real comparison because the angles were so much different that you cannot tell.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't. You can't. You just can't.
Um, okay, what's next? I'm going to take a few weeks to relax, and then get back on the horse at 4 to 5 weeks out from the Vancouver Pro. I'll do that show
Oh,
with one of another bodybuilder, then hit the Chicago Pro the weekend after with Jordan Hutchinson. And
okay. So he is competing.
yeah, I I don't if he I think it's probably just he wants to compete. I think after you place fourth in California, you probably know you're not making it to the Olympia, which there's no shame in that, but I'm all for
Not a.
guys competing more.
It's not a good show for him.
No, and
He's
like
competed 4 times. The last 4 times, he only competed in 2 different events, New
that's
York and
true.
Cali.
That's true. That's true. And like I was mentioning earlier, he apparently said that this show is just judging differently. I don't know. I can't speak to that because apparently it's something he said last year. Um, but yeah, I would agree. He looks a bit better in California, despite apparently a lot of people saying he had terrible glaze, so he didn't have enough oil on, and also the lighting was atrocious.
I think his
Um,
back double might look better in New York, just the way he's striking it, but the back lat spread is for sure a Cali pose.
yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
Abs
it's
and
hard
thigh
to
in New
tell,
York. Yeah, the angles. The angles.
and the lighting making you look an almost Simpsons yellow. Like that's atrocious. So
You remember the Cali Pro back in 2019, I think it was? The lighting, how bad it was? Everybody was pink.
I don't think it was on here either.
Maybe it was 2020. Maybe it was 2020. It was one where Ian, I meant to say Antoine Vaillant.
that would have been
He won.
2020. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not on here. But yeah, that would have been 2020.
Well, it should be
Um,
on there.
it must be under the Cali Pro instead of the California State Pro.
Hmm.
Mm.
Interesting.
Okay. So anyway, um, I just have to say, what a, I'm gonna say it. What a terrible show this was. To no fault of the competitors, really at all.
Never any
Um,
fault to the competitors.
no, but this one was just this one was a stinker. Like, why do you no live stream is the thing that gets me. And it's just we are in 2024. You can make extra revenue off of this live stream and you don't have one.
Everybody keeps saying the year when they're upset about something. We had these capabilities back in 1969. You know,
Yeah,
we can
that
put a man on the moon, but we can't do this.
yeah, I guess it's just it clearly is just they didn't want to because you don't it's not like you don't it's out of sight, out of mind. You don't think about it because every other show has one. You know that this is the thing you do. Um
Why wouldn't they want to? Imagine being the athletes, families wanting to watch them compete, and you can't.
I, th- do they not want to pay a photographer? I mean,
You
they
could go
pay.
with your little phone. You could go with one of your little phones there.
Yeah, like
You and Jake. You and Jake.
Sandy, who was the head judge here, Sandy Williamson, she could have easily propped her phone up and did something there. I would have.
Is it? Is she the girl that announced the winners?
I'm not too sure. She was the one
Did,
that was doing the call outs, though.
okay, yeah. Did you hear them announce the winners?
No, why? What happened? I don't know. I doubt I could find a
Well,
video of that.
I'm not kissing up to Bob. You guys all hate Bob. Whatever. He's an idiot sometimes, but he does it so perfect.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He draws it out, keeps you like she goes in third place Christian Wolski, in second place Amir
Oh,
Amaragic, in first place Tony O'Burton. It's like,
oh
where's
boy.
the spontaneity in this? You'd call all the names, slow it down for the third, then bring the two to the center.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Even
But
if we
no,
know who
just like I
won.
said there, it was just like that.
Yeah, even if we know who won, which I think we all kind of know
You
before
still,
going into
the
yeah,
athletes don't know. The athletes don't know. They don't. They haven't seen the pictures. They haven't seen. They don't know.
yeah, even for show business, even just to drum up a little excitement, it certainly doesn't kill you to draw it out
It was the
for
worst.
that's
Worst.
awful. I mean, this entire show just and the Cali Pro has always kind of
That's
been a
all I'm
little
hating on it. I'm not hating on all the other
well
and the no live stream.
well, I'm not done. No,
No,
I'm serious. It's just it really there is no excuse. They should lose the ability to sanction their show. The IFBB, I guess I should say, should not sanction any show that doesn't have a live stream. And I like
was there one
because
last year that didn't have one?
there was yeah. I think there were
There
a
was
couple that didn't.
there was an Arnold Brazil. I thought. Did the Arnold Brazil not have one?
I want to say they
The
had one last year. I want to say they
Pablo
did.
Pablo show or something down there. They did another show down there. I thought
Uh
Apollo Pro,
Sao Paulo or whatever the capital of
something
Brazil
like
is.
something of that nature. Capital of Brazil is
And the common theme in this El Guindy. Tamer El Guindy?
Tarek.
No,
Tarek.
not Ter. No, this is a muscle contest show. This was
You're
I'll
not
look up
picking on Tarek.
no, not Tarek, even though I don't like him.
You don't like Tarek?
No, no.
Oh, how come?
Loud. But here, I'll try to play the audio on this one. This
I
is
think Tarek's cool.
that's all I'm gonna play because it's just like this guy says, why the F are you yelling so loud? It's just like I get it. He should have done the announcing at that point then for for the
Oh,
top
is that
five.
the guy that was yelling down at the Brazil show?
Yes, yes. This was
Oh, good
Tamer.
Lord. Yeah, no,
Tarek's brother.
that's Tarek's brother. Okay.
Yeah. I think they're brothers. They look pretty similar.
I know surprisingly little about the seamy underbelly of bodybuilding.
Yeah, they put on the muscle contest shows,
Yeah.
like yeah, there are a couple that you're familiar with, I'm sure. The
People care
Arnold
hey, people care a lot about that stuff. Like back in the day, a lot of people didn't know who Joe Weider was or what's that guy with the mustache doing there.
Yeah. And it's just I don't know, like all of their shows, not to pick on any one person, but every time I watch like a muscle contest show, like the brand, I I'm not impressed at all. The lighting is always trash, and it was here. It was trash. Like this was some of the worst lighting I've ever seen. And apparently they spent all their budget on the busy LED backdrop, and then forfeited their live stream basically. And it was an LED, right?
Didn't move.
Yes, no, it did.
Yeah, oh no, there it is. Yeah, it's moving a little bit.
Yeah, and like I
Like
said, Muscle
flames
Contest
going around. Yeah.
International. It's
Yeah, I'm not into the big screens back there like that.
no.
Everybody's still talking about how good that Detroit Pro was.
Yeah, and there's really, especially after then, when we know it, like, and this also was not a big show, so they don't have the argument to spread out prize money or anything because they only had for the pros, they only had open bodybuilding, just like Fuwad's show. I'm sure this one was maybe a bit bigger. California is a bigger state. Um, they had their amateur classes and divisions, of course, but for the pros, they only had open bodybuilding,
Yeah,
and
which is whatever.
yeah, I'm okay with it, but it's
When
just
you when
like
you when you when you got buy your pay-per-view, are you looking forward to the unless it's 212 or classic, I'm not really too interested. I'll watch some of the women divisions just because I'm a cheapskate. If I'm paying, I'm watching.
yeah, that's fair, but I'm just saying, they to only have one division really, I mean, you had the amateurs, of course, but really, when the headline of the show, when you only have one pro division to really care about, and the overall quality of the show was still below subpar, it so many decisions had to be made to get to this point, is all I'm saying. So many poor decisions had to be made. No live stream. The lighting was awful. I'd reject my stage pictures if I bought them and ask for a refund.
They blend in with the background, right?
Let me
It's
let me
all it's like it's busy and it's not a neutral color.
I guess
Like
I could.
that color's better. It's at least it's
Yeah,
different.
here's one of the last Cali
Cloud. It's
Pros.
still a screen though. It's still a screen.
The lighting is still not that good. It's still pretty bright, but it's infinitely better than making your competitors yellow.
They got the little advertisements on the bottom there. That's fine. Just put a screen on the bottom by their feet and not one up by their head. That way, people still get to see the ads when they look at the pictures.
And if this, even if it was like a terrible live stream, like someone did just put up their phone and live stream it to YouTube or whatever, I would
Okay.
complain about the quality. Let's not make no mistake. I'd complain either way. I'm not if it was bad quality, but the thing is, you can do a great live stream on a shoestring budget, basically for free. Honestly, you already have,
Shoestring budget, like $5, $6. What are we talking? Do we get lunch?
yeah, buy the photographer's lunch that were already there, and get the live stream.
Even Rocky One cost $1 million.
This, I is it even going to cost? I mean, whatever they paid for the photographer, I'm sure they can add. They can shave a little off the top because they didn't also increase the prize money either. As far as I'm
What
concerned, it
was it?
was. I'm pretty sure it was just 10,000. I don't know what the actual show is. The show's Instagram.
Is that all it was? It was 10 grand? But they were raising them up. Come on, boys.
Let's see if there's anything on Tonio. Well, not everyone. Oh, I guess it would be 15 because Uprising, the corporate sponsor, um, is adding a little off the top.
15's. You can't zoom in on that little check. Did
No,
they give him a
small, the
little
small,
check?
the small check
They
too.
give him a little baby check.
That's
You
awful.
can't, you can't click on that and go to the actual post.
Doesn't
Guy's eating himself some meat, and
it?
he's happy about it.
It doesn't look
The
like it.
vegans will be after him, huh?
Certainly, but no. Um, yeah, I don't think it says it
Another
here.
picture right beside them, and that's it. And the check's so little, you'd never be able to see that in a
No, it may
billion
even
years.
be in an envelope, to be honest.
It probably is because it's so little.
Yeah,
We,
that's
we got a little check for you there, Tonio.
if anything,
Darts.
perfectly encapsulated.
The guy plays darts, eh? Guy
Yeah,
right there.
you like darts,
Oh, Marx Max Muscle loves darts.
so I've come to understand.
Yes.
But that just kind of perfectly encapsulates the whole show, really. Like you couldn't. Did you really not
Darts?
even?
A sucky show.
No, 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 no. The check, like it's like it's a novelty. It doesn't really matter, but like going the little extra mile to get your guy a big check, which is just like poster board,
But
I'm sure.
would it make sense to put a small amount? What if it was only four figures? Would they put that on a big check? That would be embarrassing, wouldn't it?
I don't think the IFBB can that would sanction that. It would at least be five, but I think, like I said, I think it was the minimum, which is either 10 or 15. Um, but
Still, does that warrant a big check? You ever see the little big checks
well,
like
they do
that?
big checks at all of them.
Sometimes they hand out the second and third prize
Well,
checks.
they could
They're
still
like,
manage to do
"Oh."
it on a game show they could still do it on Wheel of Fortune if the dude wins $6,000.
Hey, Wheel of Fortune's big budget though. They got a lot of people watching them, more than bodybuilding.
I could I give me a
Pat
poster
Sajak,
give me a poster board. We should get him on the show.
Vanna White, and Pat Sajak, that would cost them a mint.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's
Can't get Bob Barker. He's done.
That's true.
He
But
retired.
I think we should just move on. Keep this one pretty short today. I think I'm just complaining and spinning in circles because we say things about a show or two every year, similar to this effect. Like why is there no live stream? And the lighting, you can say that for like over half the show, so it is what it is. But the no live stream part,
The Vancouver last year was atrocious.
yeah, even the pics from the Vancouver Pro are like off to
But
the
it
side.
cost $70.
Oh, there was a live stream?
Yes, and it was $70 or something like that, and you had to get the two of them. You had to buy two of them to get
No,
the
for
finals. You had to end up
that's
spending over $100 to get. And Hassan Mustafa won it, and he
Yes.
just lost twice. He lost to two Olympians going into this, so it was like a
Hmm.
third string guy, your main eventer, and it was an obvious win for even Hassan. He went against Stanimal, I think it was. Nothing against Stanimal, but he's not a second place guy yet.
No, no.
Not when you look at some of the second place guys we've seen this year.
And this was, I think, just from what I remember from last year, the Vancouver was the weakest, the weakest lineup by far that year.
Yeah,
Last year.
Bullabang? No.
Who? It would have
No, I
been
don't want to say the wrong name. You'll call me a racist
no,
again.
no, 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 no. Yeah, you're right.
I thought is it Bullabang?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's Bullabang.
I
Because
like
he
this
looks
guy.
like Bullabang.
I like this guy a lot. Actually.
I
He'll be at
believe he
Toronto.
is Canadian,
Yeah, yeah. And
like
he'll be at
right
Toronto
near
if I'm
where
not
I live.
mistaken.
He's where?
He's going to do Toronto.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah, do you think we should maybe write an angry letter to the IFBB and say,
No.
no, never again?
No, never again. No. No letters.
I I mean, it's just I do have certain disdain for a show.
You're putting your anger down on a piece of paper. And
Oh yeah.
your anger will subside, but having this piece of paper lying around, it's keeping that anger alive. You got
Hmm.
to let go of the anger, my friend.
Oh,
It was a bad show. It was a terrible show. And Stu, he was so embarrassed of his trophy, he went, he put
did he
it
really?
around. Yeah, he put it around his back.
Hmm.
You can see that. Look,
Yeah, I do
look.
see that. That's I guess to end, what did you think of the placings? Fair? Um,
Not enough footage to be able to complain.
yeah, that is the unfortunate thing. Like I didn't bother doing a recap and I just decided to kind of talk about it here, but that's like really all I could do. I wasn't
I
gonna
did
go
one, yeah, I did one comparison with Stu and Amir, both from the New York, and then Stu and Amir, both from the Cali. And there was a difference. Amir was more conditioned and less. He was still probably more conditioned in the New York, but not as much. Not as much. There was a little difference in that aspect, but
do you think jumping all the way up to second is warranted? I kind of had Christian maybe even winning the show, to be honest. I kind of had him beating Tonio, honestly,
do
at
you
New York.
remember Amir last year? He complained about his placing.
What was it?
He got second, but it was to Roman Fritz.
Oh,
He
well,
said he should have won. You don't remember that little trouble that they had with him?
no, I don't follow him here.
He was mad. Well, other channels made videos about it.
Hmm.
He was mad. He even said, "Oh, I should have beat him or Roman. Roman's not my league." All this, whatever. So maybe they were testing him at the New York. Let's see if he'll complain about ninth. And he never. Maybe he didn't complain. He took his ninth with a smile on his face. So they said, "All right, let's bump him up to second."
Yeah, and I guess in a lineup like this, conditioning is kind of a good thing to have when the rest of the lineup is kind of on the smaller side. You know, there's no Nick Walkers running around or anything.
Well,
Um,
it changes the lineup. It does.
exactly, exactly. So I think playing to his strength, that being conditioning, and actually bringing that in, I think that was a good move and was good enough for second. I had Tonio winning before even heading into the show. I wanted Christian to win, to be honest. But Tonio did pull off the win. I didn't expect Stu in fourth. Um, that one I'm iffy on. Again, I can't really tell. Pablo, I after what I saw, I didn't expect him to be in fifth, and then sixth, Sung Chul.
You thought Pablo should have get higher
No, I just expected. I don't know what I thought. Because I'd have no
from
thoughts.
behind. If you look at the NPC News Online pictures
Yeah,
of his back shots, it's obvious. I don't think that he
it's
could have
just
beat Stu.
why that he why was he in the top four than not
I
Stu?
don't
You
know.
know, yeah,
I don't know.
it's judging was questionable. I saw all kinds of comments about that. But I think we can move on. Any last thoughts on the Cali Pro, Mark?
I just hope there's a live stream next year.
Yeah, I hope there's a lot of things different about next year. Um, I want to go to the
We need to get a
news.
different lineup than a weakened New York lineup.
Yeah, yeah.
That makes it more interesting.
I think this lineup was honestly pretty good. It
It
wasn't as
was,
good as New
but we just
York.
seen it. But we just seen it.
That too. I mean, imagine if Beef Stew and Tonio were like in a two-man call out though. I don't think we'd be saying the same thing. I think that's kind of a good rematch to see. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
But
thought they thought it would have been less interesting.
I guess so. I guess so. I wanna continue the hate train that we left off with last time, because we were just hating so much on Quint Beastwood.
Not me. If you're listening, Quint, I was not hating on you, big man.
I really wasn't either. I was just
I didn't predict him in first. So
I
people
was
call me
keeping
a
it
hater
real.
because I predicted him way down where he placed.
Yeah.
I think I predicted him one off. I put him in fifth, and I think he got sixth. So
Well,
that's not hating on someone. That's
I
predicting where I
think,
thought the judges were going to put him.
and I had him in. I did call it right at
You
the last
called it
minute.
exactly right.
Yeah, and I
You
thought I
even
was
showed me
dumb.
the message. You showed me the message because I
Yeah,
didn't
I thought
believe
I
you.
was dumb for doing that. And the friend I was texting, he was like, "Oh, there's no way. There's no way." And I was like, "Yeah, I get it. That's why I said maybe he can get third if like the judges forgive him a lot and just want those aesthetics, but it's either third or he's way down at sixth." And sure enough, that's what happened. And I did the comparison, a joke kind of video of New York being the before picture before revealing at the end, and then Texas being the after pictures. And then I kept making the arguments. Oh, he's better in New York. He's better in New York. But the New York version was actually Texas because I flipped the versions. So really, every time I said he was improved, he was actually regressing. And it
You were
turns out
being disingenuous
yes,
because you eventually told the truth.
yes. Did you?
So that's
I
not
thought you
really
said
a
you watched
lie.
the video. No, no. The whole video was a joke, more or less. I was still being honest when I said, "Oh, well, I think he was improved here and there." Like some in some areas, he did truly regress. And I think flipping the versions, I just wanted to see how many people like I could fool. But that no, there was a joke at the end that revealed it. Um, but
That you
Tony,
actually were being disingenuous and you reversed the.
yes, yes,
See, his lat spread looked better before then.
the lat spread looked better in New York or Texas.
Texas.
That yeah, yeah, I agree, I agree. There are multitude of shots that look better, multitude of muscle groups, and we're going to talk about that. He's going to talk about that actually. I'm going to pull up this video because we have some breaking news about Quinton. So I do have a lot to play here. It's about a couple minutes, a few minutes, so we can get the whole story here. But this is breaking. He did a Q&A on his story, and I just think I usually don't make a whole segment about people switching coaches, but in this case, I think it's a bit interesting. So I'll pull up the story. Let's see here. Oh, I guess
Oh,
before
what
then,
was that? Is that from your video?
no. This is Tampa. This is New York, and he basically puts a
Are
couple
you
of these.
certain?
Yeah, yeah, Tampa, New York, and he puts a couple of these on, and is basically just saying, "Man, I was worse in
That's good of him to show that.
like right here. I know some of you ladies are jealous of the thigh gap that I recently acquired because he's talking about how his legs and the adductors they shrunk.
Yeah. Yep. So whatever he's been doing for his legs, he needs to start doing something else for his hamstrings.
I thought this was interesting. Lost 70 pounds in this prep.
That's too much.
That's
That's too much.
crazy. That
You
is
get too
crazy.
if you get too fat, and I'm not an expert, but if you get too fat, doesn't matter. When you're
Mhm.
eating into that muscle or you're eating into that fat, your muscle's getting
Yeah,
eaten away at
eventually the
too.
deficit has to be so big because you have so much to lose that you will
You gotta
eventually.
you gotta kind of keep pretty lean.
Yeah, yeah, and I actually defended Quinton because he was getting a bit chunky in the offseason. I said if he does this once or twice in his career and kind of maintains it for a while, I said there's absolutely no problem. He has to trust the process, and I defended him when he was like 330 pounds and fat at a guest posing,
Yeah,
and then
he
a lot of
looked a little soft.
oh for sure,
Yeah.
like you couldn't. There were hardly any cuts. He had a little bit of the love handles going on, which you don't really see on bodybuilders because they do maintain that level of leanness. But I defended him, and then it sure it turns out he lost 70 pounds on prep. So I want to do the math. If he lost 70 pounds, even in a 16-week prep, that's almost 4.5 pounds a week.
What was he, 280, 270 on stage?
260 something on stage.
60 something.
I think he said 263.
Lou Ferrigno was bigger than that.
Yeah, Nick Walker was probably bigger than that. And he is half a foot shorter than Quinton.
Well,
And
Quentin's not as wide as most people think. Like Paul Dillette. I get crap from the audience, or my audience, my fans. So they say Paul was pretty narrow for his height. You set him next to Nasser. Nasser is actually a little bit wider. It's because of their midsections. They look
mm,
so huge. His midsection, Paul's midsection was like that big around. So was Beastwood's.
yeah, it
But I
gives the
mean,
illusion
I
of
stood him.
wider.
I seen him next to Justin Rodriguez, and I'm like, Justin is wider than Samson.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be this big 300-pound beast.
Hey, hey,
I
I
like his
think
physique.
I think
I
some
like
more
his
size would
physique.
go a long way. And making him look
Absolutely.
wider.
He's much more aesthetic than all these guys.
Let's see here. Could you imagine doing a 16-week prep, right? And every week on the scale, and when 7 days rolls around, you have lost 4.5 pounds at least. Like imagine that. Imagine losing 70 pounds and who knows if it was 16 weeks. Maybe it was 14, maybe it was 20 because it could have been a longer prep. It probably was. But even still, that is a
I'm
lot of
70
weight.
pounds. I'm 70 pounds.
Okay. Let's go on. It's to the Q&A. Um
You got a Q&A?
no, 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 no. He had a Q&A. Let's see. Um I think it's this next one. Okay.
I hear nothing. We don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything?
Just you.
I think
It's in. I can't hear it.
okay. I'll translate. Basically
Oh,
he
so we have
left
to trust you?
yes. He left his coach, Dorian Hamilton.
All
Um,
right.
you know Dorian Hamilton.
Never
You know
met him. Seen maybe some pictures of him, things of
you
that
know
nature.
of Dorian Hamilton.
A little bit. A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, he was coaching Quint, and Quinton after his 2022 season was making the right call, and he said, "I want to get bigger." And I think he says in the next one, I did watch all of it in its entirety. He said he wanted to go work with Matt because he saw the work that Matt had put in on his athletes in the offseason. You know, you had Nick Walker makes great progress, even though everyone says he's maxed out his frame, and that may be being becoming more true by the day, but he can still improve a lot. And he has improved a lot. Even someone like, rest in peace, Dallas McCarver made a lot of progress in the offseason, for better or worse, but he did. Um, and Matt has just been known to put on a lot of size in these guys in the offseason. So Quint um wanted to go to that guy. I think I'm gonna skip ahead. Oh, he was very sad that he left Dorian. He almost cried in the car, apparently, or maybe he did.
Yeah. There's no tears in bodybuilding.
What's that?
There's no tears in bodybuilding.
No, absolutely not. Um, well, let's see here. Oh, yeah. He basically said he's leaving Matt, and let's see, where's the part?
And I'm just joking, Quentin. You can cry.
Debatable.
I was
Um,
just trying to sound like a tough guy.
I want to play this because I still think it'll be recorded and they'll be able to hear it. If not, I'll recap it. But okay.
I can
So
sort of hear him.
basically he was saying, I may never work with a coach again. And he is saying that he's learned a lot and absorbed a lot of knowledge from both Dorian and Matt and prior coaching experiences. But right now he is hell-bent on not going back to a coach. He wants to coach himself. He has such a bad taste in his mouth with the previous prep that he's done. He's coaching himself. He think he can do the best job. Maybe he can. I don't know if you saw these recent updates, Mark, but this is 4 days
Yeah,
out of the show versus
17 pounds. Yeah,
yeah,
17 pounds.
versus 3 days post show.
He's got
Um,
this little thing in his mouth there.
I didn't know what that was for the longest time, but I saw everyone do it, and then I saw someone in the comments say it was the clicker for the camera.
Yeah, Robin Strand was telling us that's what it is.
I don't know. I don't know why you would just not take a video.
That's exactly what he said. Just
Just
take a
take a
video and then freeze frame it. Take a
exactly.
screenshot.
But this is promising. This is promising for sure. 17 pounds gained and
Well, you can see he was
arguably,
depleted. Look at his arms, chest, everything. He's
yeah,
depleted.
arguably the condition is better now that he has that little bit of pop. And I think,
Of course, it's going to look better. Your condition's going to look better too. You're going to look flat.
see, I think there was a video. Yeah, just hitting some classic pose, hitting some free posing after my getting my rounds in, never beating the classic allegations. Because a lot of people
That's
are
what he should
saying
work
he.
for. Yeah.
So I guess this leads us to a little bit about Toronto, which we can talk a little bit about. We'll talk more about in the full podcast. Quinton's chances of winning Toronto. What do you think about that? Who's doing Toronto though, right?
I know
Hassan,
Robin,
Robin, Hassan,
Hassan,
Akeem, and there was one
Akeem is.
Akeem is
Akeem could break
win the
some
show.
hearts, man.
Win the show, I think. Honestly,
You think Akeem can beat Hassan?
if Hassan is not in the condition he needs to be, which is a common problem, and if his stomach is a little bit out of control, even just a little bit bigger, and he also doesn't have
Mm,
that conditioning to match, yeah, I think
mm,
Akeem can beat him.
yeah. From the back, it could be different.
Hassan's
I
back
don't
is
know.
solid, but it's not like a Derek Lunsford back. It's not a blowout win
No.
against Akeem. It would be for the rear
Akeem's
double.
yeah, Akeem's got the issues. He brings condition from behind though.
Let's see here. Maybe Akeem, Hassan, Robin. I think, to be honest, I think Robin could even beat Quinton. And
I think Robin's going to show some improvement this year.
oh, for
I'm not
sure.
just saying that because I talked to the guy. I've talked to him.
He's going to be on the Project Bodybuilding podcast. Did you know that?
Oh, awesome.
I
Awesome.
know. Yeah, this Thursday.
He's a good head.
Yeah, that's actually we're not even talking about bodybuilding like competitive wise. We're talking about the training and diet because have you seen like this dude train? It's odd. And I'm not going to say it doesn't work because it certainly does. He's a pro. He's growing to be a closer to the top level of pros. And open bodybuilding too. It's just very odd, very intentional, very to the outside in, it doesn't look like he's training super hard. You don't see a lot of sloppy form. You don't see super heavy weights, but everything he does is so precise and he has multiple trainers there with him a lot of the times. It's fascinating to watch. So I'm going to ask him a lot about that and his diet as well because he's into that gut health stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotta
So
be. Got to be.
yes. So Quinton, give me your chances of him beating winning the Toronto Pro.
Probably not very. And whenever I say that, people hate on you, but it's like,
It's just not
Quentin
in the
has the
cards.
potential to beat all these guys, but he's just not at that point yet.
You think even with his fullness, Quinton probably can't?
I'll have to wait and see.
Well, we know,
Because he's like I said, he's not as big as people think he is because they see 6'2", 6'2", 6'2".
yeah.
He's not as wide structurally as some of these guys.
Hmm.
Like Samson's probably twice as wide,
Yeah, and more filled out. And
but his midsections half the size.
Hmm. And
So if he can fill out just a little bit, it's only going to take just a little bit in the quads, a little bit in the upper body. That's it. You maintain that midsection.
and Hassan, right? I do want to say there is a possibility. But the fact that it's not just Hassan, it's Robin, it's Akeem, and someone else that I'm failing to mention right now. Like there is
Probably Dorian. Oh, Seaman.
Joe
Is
Seaman.
is Seaman doing the show?
Yes,
See,
I
he's
believe
a
so.
he's a handful too.
Yeah, there's just simply no, no way. I'll say it. I'll say it. There's no way Quinton is winning the Toronto Pro. I think top
Well,
three.
if you hit me with the no way, I'll have to argue with you.
There's no way. There's no way. And this is, I'm a Hassan fanboy though. I think Hassan is mighty impressive. But to be
I
honest,
like him just fine.
his gut at the Olympia, a little bit bigger. I don't think he should have placed 11th. Just a little bit,
Maybe they gave him a gift,
little too thick for my taste. But he had some close calls at both Orlando and Toronto, against
which was yeah, it was kind of he lost to the older
Phil,
fella there, the
Phil,
older guy.
and
So
Ian.
no
E.
shame in losing to Ian,
No,
but he
but I
probably
mean,
should have beat Ian.
is
Ian didn't even go to the Olympia.
is Quinton beating this? Is
I think he was
Quinton
better here.
is Quinton beating this? I mean, maybe if you are really, want to choose those aesthetics over it. Is Quinton beating this? Probably not.
Look at that back lat spread, man.
Yeah, and then that's the knockout one. And Quint can't hit his for whatever reason. He just has a hard time.
Click on it there. Let your audience have a peek at it too. Your audience wants to see it.
See what?
His rear lat spread.
I'm showing it.
I can't see it.
You must be lagging because it's there.
Oh,
No, it's there.
well, don't I sound like an idiot?
But no, it's on the screen.
Yeah, I just see the grid.
Oh, that's weird. But it is on there. And then like shots like the side chest, like the most muscular. Um, they're just not in the cards. Like I think Hassan versus Akeem is going to be a good battle. I think that's going to be the battle to look forward to be honest. Um, yeah.
Did they not compete
I think they have before.
long time ago?
Puerto Rico? No. Robin Strand was there, I believe, at Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Not this one though. Not the 2022 one, apparently. Not that one.
No, wasn't this one?
Maybe it was
No. Puerto Rico Pro.
2021. Robin was in there. Maybe not. No, he was eighth. Yeah, the last time they went, I don't know if this is the last time because they did. Nope, this isn't the last time. It would be technically the 2022. Hassan didn't make it to the Olympia that year, apparently. Yeah, so it would have been yeah, because he had health issues. That's right. That's right. So the last time they would have went together, 2021 Puerto Rico Pro. That seems like a stretch. But Akeem got him there, apparently. Um, and he also got beat by Hassan also got beat by Muhammad Shaban. Yeah, so I think that it's a sign to just end it. Slow news day. But what can you say when you have a pretty poor show? And we're in the middle. We don't have a show this coming weekend, so I don't want to fully
Oh
talk
yes,
about that.
there is. There's a bodybuilding show in my area. It's a local one.
You're gonna live stream it?
No. No, I'm just gonna sit there and keep my mouth shut.
Oh, so you're going.
Oh yeah. I'll go
All right.
watch it.
All right. All right. I think there is one in my area in like in August. A local one, not a pro one, obviously.
No, this isn't either.
Yeah, but I'll still go. Maybe
Oh,
I'll even be a
yes.
maybe I'll even be a sponsor and have the Project Bodybuilding booth.
I just want to go and watch.
Yeah, I thought about going to the Olympia, but it's just like I I don't really I'd be better served staying at home and live streaming it, to be honest.
Exactly.
Because I can't watch it
Your
either.
fans need you. Your fans need
Exactly.
you.
I can't watch it either, which I don't really mind. Well, I'd obviously live stream and watch it, of course. But I can't, like sit there and like enjoy it per se. I enjoy covering and all the things, so I'm not like, oh, woe is me. But if I can't sit there and enjoy it for my personal amusement, I don't see the need to go.
It's like watching hockey. If you're into hockey, it's like
I'm not.
play out or whatever sports. No sports.
Racket no, badminton.
Oh, well, that's not really a where you cheer for a team or something. That's something you play.
So you play hockey?
No, but I mean as a fan, a fan.
You don't cheer at badminton? I love badminton. Like
I
that's
love badminton. I love bagminton. I love bagminton, but
I've never heard of that one.
I've never seen it on TV or anything. Maybe years ago.
I looked up competitive badminton one time because I
It's
wondered.
pretty rough.
It is. It is
Spike, spike,
actually.
spike, spike, spike.
I couldn't
I'm good.
imagine.
I'm not good at badminton. Sound like one of them guys. Yeah, I'm good at this. I'm not bad at badminton compared to other sports
Yeah.
and volleyball and badminton.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's as far as sports go. I can't play nothing.
Well, bodybuilding's a sport.
Not growing up. You don't.
Mark,
What are you gonna
Mark,
do? Sit there and flex in front of the mirror?
can I put up your update? We could talk about that.
I don't care. What update?
The
My
update
pull
you
ups?
No. No, 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 no. Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, I think that's probably not even there anymore.
Oh, was it on your story?
Yeah.
Mark. Mark,
What?
Mark, Mark. That's I was gonna end off with some good compliments. Like I was gonna compliment you on sticking to the diet, sticking to bulking up. Because it's not the easiest for everyone. Even if you can like eat and do the things, you don't like to see yourself knowing that you can be a bit leaner. You know what I'm saying? I don't
There,
think.
I sent you the picture.
Okay. Okay, 1 second. Let me pull it up here. People are going to be amazed at this transformation. I haven't seen one quite like it since Dorian in 93.
This is a natural progression, ladies and gentlemen. There's no big.
I think people
It's the I'm leaned out in the first one.
now this is how to add some so you said you were cutting down a bit in
That's
the
when
left photo.
I did my posing routine for my channel.
Gotcha. Okay.
But to get that lean, you got to really eat into your, especially natural, being natural.
Sure. Sure.
But yeah, I'm gonna stick with my diet. If I said I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you gotta go through people saying, "Geez, you're looking awful skinny. Are you sure you're eating?" It's like, listen, man, go have your potato chips, and I'll do what I do. I understand it's not the healthiest thing, but I also understand it's kind of like playing the sport with your buddies or something, with not really being a professional. You're doing a little bit of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like
But yeah, it was like 150, 151 or two, little over 150.
and you enjoy the challenge, right? It's not just for,
Exactly. And it's tough.
yeah. Yeah, and
People say, "Oh,
especially
what?" People will tell you too. "Oh, I have no problem with dieting." It's like, well, let me see you lean. You've never been lean. Of course, you have no problem with dieting. Show me yourself lean, then, because you hear bodybuilders talk about, it's tough, and then you'll hear a layman say, "Oh, no, I don't have no problem with dieting.
Yep, yep.
Where are my potato chips? Ah, blah, 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 blah."
To someone maybe a
And I'm
little,
I'm chubby compared to a pro
yeah.
bodybuilder, believe it or not.
And then someone a little more versed in this knows how also just like the right the after pick is as well. Someone just some people just say, "Oh, what you actually improved? Isn't that what bodybuilding is all about?" Easier said than done. Easier said than done to make solid gains. Like, do you know the weight difference here?
The pitcher, I'm probably in 170s. I was getting close to 180, and my old midsection was getting a little bit chubby. So I had to, it's hard to eat a lot without eating more.
Yes.
You get kind of
Yes.
addicted to it. So I had to kind of say, okay, go back to my eating every couple hours, just protein. And then I did like a lean, lean couple days, high carb couple days. Nothing too serious, but I'm like in the mid 160s now. You
Would you
can't
ever
tell how
consider being
big I am
Quinton's
from this
coach?
picture. No.
I
Why
think
would I want to ruin somebody's career?
Oh, that's funny. Overall, congratulations on the transformation. So
It's
why
like
are you
20 pounds difference.
that's a lot. That is a lot. And I don't say that as a bad thing. I say that as a good thing. So why the size gain? Are you trying to just the cut and bulk get maybe a little better? Or are you training for something specifically?
Well, I was thinking about getting back into the wrestling ring, but
Yeah.
at this juncture, it's really hard to say.
Why?
Well, there's a number of things. I'm getting in shape. Like it's hard to tell here, but I'm actually in better shape, bigger. I've been doing all cardio,
Mm-hmm.
which involves running a lot, and my feet are getting sore. My I have one foot injury from years and years ago, and it's really getting sore. So the better shape I get in, I'm hobbling. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, but June 1st is when the bodybuilding show is. I was telling you,
Yep.
it's actually a 3 event show. The bodybuilding's at like at 2 in the afternoon, and then there's a wrestling show.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't even know where you
you were asking me why I was putting weight on, then I said something about I was gonna be wrestling, and then I
complications.
my foot was sore,
Yeah.
but I was supposed to go train with these guys like a few
Oh,
weeks back, and I
okay.
never did. I never did. So it's on my own. But I'm still might help them with this show in June,
Okay.
and they'll let me jump in the ring to see what I got because they're not going to just let me in. So if I
Yeah.
roll around in the ring, if they say, okay, well, there's another show the following week around the same area, so I can get there, no problem.
And then you can
So
announce your official retirement.
yeah, this foolish. At my juncture, we don't retire. We just stop doing it.
Mm.
If it's not your full-time job, I was getting paid. We were getting paid a little bit of money, so people call themselves a pro wrestler. It's like you're not a pro wrestler,
Yeah.
and you didn't
Yeah.
retire. You stopped doing it.
All right. Well, that about does it for episode 12 of the bodybuilding podcast. A little bit of a filler today, I gotta say. Like I said, kind of a slow news day.
No physique updates from Dylan.
No, no, I don't take pictures, honestly. And also I haven't been as consistent in the gym, putting out videos. That's what I do,
You know
you
what they
know.
say? Is it better to remain thought of as a fool, or is it better to open your mouth and relieve all doubt?
How does this apply to this situation?
Pardon?
How does that apply to this situation?
Because you're being quiet and
Yeah.
people are thinking of you as a wimp. But if you
Oh,
show, you were like, okay, we relieved all doubt. We know he's a
no,
wimp.
no, no. My physique's
I'm
not
just
that.
joking.
My
I'm
physique's
just,
not that good.
I'm just joking.
But anything else you could add, Mark?
Not really. You need
Just
something in your backdrop.
I'm working on it. I think I do want to get one of those ones for like movies, like when people go to the red carpet and they have the movie logo on the
Yeah.
thing. But I may want to change my logo before that. And then of course I have to actually buy the backdrop. But yeah, I'm thinking about something like that.
So
Something
you
like
say
that.
you're working on it, but it doesn't look like you are.
I think I want to get someone else to do it.
Yes. It should be dark, whereas you're so pale. And it's
Yeah,
not a race thing.
it
Just look, you're
is.
definitely Nordic or something.
There's certainly this always comes down to race with you, doesn't it? Doesn't it, Mark?
Well, it's all one big race,
The human race.
the human
The
race.
human race. No, I meant like someone designed the logo itself. I kind of want something new, something not so basic, but something that also tells what the channel is about, which is kind of hard to do. But
I
I
like
think
just a backdrop with a bunch of your symbols over and over again. A
yeah,
few of them.
yeah. I just want to find a good logo I like.
You don't like your little dumbbell? Or
It's all
that's a
right.
barbell. Sorry, it's a barbell.
It's all
Sorry.
right. I think I could do better.
MARX Max Muscle.
Yeah, certainly it's
I,
not as unique
I
as yours.
messaged my buddy the other day. We used to have a tag team, and that's what that picture was from.
Yeah.
And he paid for the photographer to come in and do all the lighting and everything. I even got dieted down and everything. He paid for it all, and that's what I used for my symbol. And I told him I owe you some residual checks for that because I never did pay him. He just said no, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Barstool Bailey, great guy, great guy.
Barstool Bailey.
Yeah,
Was that like his
Aaron,
signature move?
Aaron is his real name. What's that?
Do you like hit people with stools?
He carried a stool. In fact, he broke it over so many people's backs,
Yeah.
and they put me together with him, and I had a bow and arrow shooting people, and he'd carry a keg to the ring, and we were called Booze and Arrows.
Oh.
And the funny thing is, he didn't drink, and I was a raging alcoholic, so it was kind of maybe an inside joke from the
Yeah.
powers that be, but yeah,
Well, let's end it there. And hopefully after this one people come back to the next one.
indeed, Cali Pro, pick up your slacks.
Agreed. Toronto Pro, I can assure. I mean, we can't get any worse, so I think it'll be better. And then after Cali, I'm actually probably more excited for the summer shows, June specifically, than I am the spring shows. We had the Arnolds, Detroit, New York, and Cali. But honestly, we're gonna have like Texas Pro, Tampa
We got
Pro,
Texas
Chicago
coming,
Pro,
or
Dubai.
Orlando.
Yeah, even just in June, we have um Toronto, M Pro, Flex Italy Pro,
The M Pro, yes, yes, that's going to be a good show.
and then the Flex Pro weekend. And then I think that is the end. I think there's like 1 month, 1 week off in the month of June, and then it's back to. Then you'll have the Dubai Pro the next month, and I think there's another July show in there. I think maybe the Chicago Pro or something like that. There are a couple. I'm really excited for the summer shows, at least just as excited as the spring shows. So we're gonna have a lot of content on this channel, and hopefully even more podcasts. I found out an interesting stat. I'll end with this. Um, 21, if you put out 21 episodes of your podcast, you are in the top 1% of podcasters.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
And the threshold like on YouTube is kind of low too. Like once you're like in 1,000 subscribers, you're like in like the top 10%, which 1,000 isn't that much. Um,
Well, you go to your social blade, you can see your rating
really?
number, your number rating, yeah,
Oh,
your
okay.
YouTube number.
That's cool. You'll have to show me that. But yeah, so we're on episode 12, 9 more to go to the top 1%. And then we can officially call ourselves the real bodybuilding podcast,
Do like Rob Schneider says,
which is
you can do it.
yes, we can. Only 9 more episodes, plenty to talk about coming up. Do you mind closing this out? Episode 12?
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. We really hope you enjoyed today's feature, which included Dylan really bashing the Cali Pro and Mark's Max Muscle with his usual reserved opinions because he is so scared of everybody. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.